Hi. So today I decided, since it's the end of the year, happy holidays, by the way. I hope everyone had a great time and got to spend time with family or maybe just time with yourself. But I hope you were able to get some relaxation, recharge, and get ready for the new year. But because the year is wrapping up, I decided why not touch on some of my favorite books for the year. I'm a very avid reader. I've read over 100 books this year, and I have five that I absolutely loved. And I wanted to give them some recognition and, just let y'all see what I've been reading. So we will start in no particular order. I haven't really ranked them. Um, but there is a little bit of favoritism, but there's really no ranking. I think all of these books were beautifully written, and I enjoyed my time a lot with them. And if you hear my cat meowing, please excuse her. Okay, so there may be a little bit order to this, but I decided why not, just start with what you read first to what you read most recently. So I really got into literary fiction this year and kind of just like fell in love. This was the first literary fiction book that like I was aware of it being a lit fic and reading. It's Paradise Rot by Janae Haval. I hope I'm saying her last name correctly. Um, beautifully, beautifully written. It's I found I really like very like descriptive, like fluffy, pretty like descriptions. Um, and this is about a girl who kind of like is in a country. She needs a roommate, and she searches, high and low, and ends on this one girl that kind of like lives in like a warehouse type of thing. And the whole thing is just basically about their relationship and like about like the boundaries, pushing boundaries. And it's I audiobooked it and like read along and like kind of like this was like I've been trying to get into annotating like in my book, like, but for the life of me, forever, I have always been so scared to write in my books. I think I started annotating, and but in a bad way. Like I get like two copies of a book and then like write in one and the other one's perfect. I like highlighted like one singular line in here. I don't know if I can find it right now. Okay. Here it here it is. I think I did two. I think I did two lines. Together we sleep like unicorns. And then I think there's another one. Oops, I just saw it. Okay. I don't even want to like that took so much longer than it needed to take. And then the study of the living. So we sleep like unicorns and the study of living. They got me. So I highlighted it. I kind of regret doing that in this book because this is like I don't think this cover is made anymore. But I'm never gonna sell it, so it's whatever. But I highly recommend this book if you're looking for something that kind of like is pushing boundaries and explores um like what it is to be human, what it is to form like a relationship, whether it be friendship, sexual, but it was beautiful. um all of these books I'm showing today are 5 out of 5s. The next one I read that really got me. This is not a lit fic. Basically, the rest of them low key are, but this is a mystery, mystery thriller. Um, my friend and I were actually doing a book club, and she's the one who picked this, and then she didn't finish it, and I ended up loving it. This is the special edition that just got re-released this year. Very beautiful red edges. I'm not a girl who usually likes just a basic sprayed edge. Like if you're gonna spray edges, like you better spray those edges. Like it better be like a cool design. Like it better like grab me. But like this works so well. I think one, because it's a new cover, and like with the blood, like the red obviously makes sense. Another reason also too, like to be wary like of sprayed edges is there was this book I read, and it's a circus book. I'm not gonna name drop it because I hated it. It was so bad. Um, I literally just like pushed through it because I was also reading that with a different friend. But no. And like it got me because of the sprayed edges. But I'm like, so you got me, you lied to me, you made this look like a really interesting book, but it was just garbage. Got it. So now I'm also scared of sprayed edges because I, I'm a I'm very much a ooh, that cover looks good. Let me see if I want to read that. I'm very much a cover girl. I do judge a book by its cover. But onto what this is about. It's written as if it's a play. It kind of has like the prologue being the present day, and so it's kind of the main character telling his story. And then as it hits like act one, act two, like, and like within it, there's like scenes, and so it kind of like reads as like transitioning plays, and it's mostly because the book is about kind of like these college like kids, they're in college. They are all actors and actresses, and that is just like the way they live, eat, and breathe. It is through acting. That's all they care about. That is their life, and that is the whole reason they are there. But it kind of goes through like he got out of jail, and this detective wants to know the story of what happened, what actually happened. And he kind of just is telling like their relationship, what went down that night, but the build up through all of it was beautiful. There's certain parts where it actually reads exactly like a play, and it I don't know if I can find it, but it like reads like Richard is a line, and then Meredith is a line, and it gives you the feel of like an actual script, like here. So it just like it says their actual name, and then like it's reading and like giving you the imagery like as if it's an actual play that is happening. um, but it was amazing. I loved this book. I flew through it. I also audiobooked this book. I'm a very big audiobooker. It's I can't be alone with my thoughts, and sometimes I'm not in a music mood, and I love just stories. And so this is also one that I audiobooked, but I really want to reread all of these again next year because I love them so much. One of the books I did reread, which I'll tell you about, but highly recommend it if you're into like mysteries, if you're into acting and like playwriting, or like 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 love. It's very like story unravels, and it's like, oh my god, my heart. I just want to tell you the whole story, but I won't. I won't. But I highly recommend it. My next book is My Dirk Vanessa. Don't come for me when I say this. This is. Bear with me. This is how Lolita should have been written. It is by a woman. It is. I haven't read Lolita personally, but I know like a lot about it, but it's just kind of like same field. Um, if you know, trigger warning. It is about like a woman that's been groomed, and her like working through it, realizing what happened and like why it was actually wrong. But it's kind of an also a past to present type of thing, which I've noticed some themes in the books that I love this year. Um, Most of them are past to present. I think maybe four out of them, and then four out of them I think are gay. Yes, they're gay. Like all, and I was like, do I have a type? Yes, I do. Um, but this one is about a woman. It's kind of in present time. She gets contacted by another woman that she finds out was groomed by her old like high school teacher. And she kind of basically is like no, like that didn't happen, like you're wrong, like you shouldn't be like filing law, you shouldn't be airing out like this, like that didn't happen, like blah 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 blah. And it's kind of like shows from like a past to present, like her younger perspective to her current perspective, and like how she felt, and like even when she kind of like sensed things were wrong and her like pushing it aside because she felt like, oh, like I'm wrong for thinking this type of thing. And it was beautifully like written. And I again I audiobooked all these books. Okay. um audiobook this one. I think this audiobooking is also a reason I love some of these books so much. um if you get a good like narrator, like you got me. Like I'm reading The Shining right now, and like I know everything about The Shining. Like it's very nice. Like I'm kind of like brain dead at this point, and so it's been kind of hard to get through just books in general. Um, but like his voice is so calming, and like it's a good voice, and he can do different voices. Like when you know, like when you got it, like you got it, and you got me. Like I'm hooked, I'm there for you, I support. um but this is very good. And it's just really her journey through like discovering like and unpacking what actually happened. um Again, trigger warning. Be cautious reading this. It is like very emotional and kind of like, I guess, like eye opening, because like, you know, I personally haven't experienced this, but it was um it was a learning experience, and um very beautiful. I But again, please make sure you know what you're reading before you read this book. Because it really does get into the nitty gritty details. Okay, this book, this holy book, I not really holy, but this is Cursed Bread by Sophie McIntosh. This is the book I read immediately after I read it once. Um, Amazing. This is another past to present type of book. It kind of goes between like letters that she's writing and then to what actually happened. This book is kind of based off like a true story. There was a town and there was some bread, and a lot of people went crazy. Um, but it's about this woman who is a baker's wife, and a new ambassador moves into town with his beautiful wife, and she becomes entranced with her, um, and she like wants her but doesn't she wants her but doesn't know that she wants her but wants to be her. It's like the lines get blurred, so blurred. And I again, we know what we're gonna say. I audiobooked this when I was driving home from Canada, and I finished it and then I put it on to fall asleep too. Like, I love this book. I love her so much. And then I read her like 2, 3 weeks later with my girlfriend, and she also loved her. But it's beautiful. Like, I'm gonna say that about all these books. That's why they're chosen. But like, so much comes like out. So you just like learn so much about the characters, and while not knowing basically anything, eh, I highly recommend it. Again, 5 out of 5. um, it's a very quick read. Like, the audiobook's only like 5 hours, so like, you know, you one sitting, and honestly you'll be so obsessed with it, it will be one sitting. But I've been recommending this to like everyone I talk to. I'm like, if you want to get in a lit fic, like, this is her. She touches all the bases of what you need, and it's a dreamy sapphic romp. I don't know what romp means, but I agree. um there's really nothing else I can say other than this is a beautiful read, and I'm obsessed with it, and I love it, and you should read it. My darling dreadful thing. Ignore the smudges. I literally, like, again, audiobooked it. I just bought it. Um it's my trophy. Oh, again, gay. Again, past to present. uh this one is, gosh. While I was reading it, I was like, I was in awe. Um, this is about a girl who lives with her mom, and she can see ghosts, but she can only see one ghost, really. It's her friend that kind of like stays with her and protects her. But she, you know, she's basically working for her mom as like, I don't know the correct word, but you know, she's basically working for her mom and like doing seances. And because she has her ghost friend, Ruth, uh, her mom makes her pretend that she can welcome in other ghosts, and cons people basically. And then one day, a woman comes in trying to talk to her husband, and like, goes on. A few days later, like, she comes back and she's like, um you're gonna live with me. And so she moves in with her, finds out that she can also see ghosts. um and it's their relationship is, it was so nice and warming to see it unfold and see what they would do for each other. I will say, I won't lie to y'all, I wish there was no past to present. I she's like kind of talking to a detective in the present. I think it takes away from the story. I think it really should have just been what it was. It should have just been what happened in the past, and it's just, if it was just that, it's just a beautiful story through and through. um I didn't hate it, but I don't think it was needed. It definitely, with it included, puts a different undertone to the book than what you'd be thinking without it. I'll also say it says it's a horror. I wouldn't classify this as a horror. I think it's just because of like what is being described in it that it wants to be a horror. It's not gory or anything, but like it does deal with ghosts. It kind of like deals with like a little bit with like abuse. But I wouldn't classify it as a horror. I would say it's kind of like just hauntingly beautiful. I'd say hauntingly beautiful is the exact words I'd use. But again, if you like a little gay romance, it's two women, and they really do love each other and care for each other. And yeah, again, 5 out of 5. I love her. And then I do have one mention, one like a little extra, because I did just finish her and I loved her. Big Swiss by Jen Began, I believe how to say it. You're gonna guess, how did I read that one? I audiobooked it. Guys, I promise I do read physical books, and I read a lot of books in my Kindle, but on my day-to-day, like I I'm not going to be reading a book while I'm driving. So, and then I will show you also, this is my Kindle. Got a little Megan Rhiannon. I have a lot of pop sockets, but this is for Christmas. This one is about a woman. I think only one of my stories that I mentioned is a male character. I really don't like reading men. I like reading men if they're written by women, but I've kind of sworn it off. You know, like there's this one mystery book that I was trying to read, and it was written by a man, and the male character was awful. He was horrible. He was a horrible person. He talked like shit about everyone in his life. Like no one was safe, and I'm like, we're a chapter in, you know, and it wasn't even like valid. It was just like he was just like commenting on his friend's looks and how he was ugly, and I'm like, what do you mean? Like that's your friend, yo. Like calm down. So I DNF'd that very fast, very fast. But this one is about a woman who's kind of like older, I think 40 or 50 maybe. She recently moves to a town with her friend, and her friend already lived there. Everyone knows her friend, and she is actually like a transcriber for a therapist, a sex therapist. And so basically it's a small town. She knows everyone by their voices, obviously. And it's kind of like, as she's out in the wild, she's like, oh, that's so and so, and that's so and so. And there's one person who's a woman, and her name is Big Swiss. And something brutal like happens to her, and like Greta becomes like obsessed with her and needs, like, you know, like wants to know. And like one day by chance, like they cross paths, and like they start to get to know each other and blah blah blah. But Greta's insane. Like not actually insane, but like homegirl, calm down. She just keeps doing things that like you shouldn't be doing. But it's like the whole time it's like, no, like I get it. Like, you're so right. Like, I probably wouldn't do that, but like, like, I understand. Got it. And I thought it was such a great book. I flew through it. I couldn't stop listening, and I definitely recommend. This is like so popular. Like, it's constantly flying off the shelves at my bookstore. Um, but I had to mention it because I just read it and I was like, oh my god, do I do 6 books for this video? And yes, the answer is yes, I do 6 books. But that is all of my books. I please read these. Like, I highly recommend. Um, They were all amazing. They treated me so well. I entire time was like, all right, so we're not stopping. We're gonna keep listening and we're gonna finish this today. Um I'm very excited for what the new year brings book wise. I do know I need a break though. I read so much and I feel like I was constantly consuming books. When I get into a hobby, I like get into a hobby. And so I think I went a little too hard, but at the end of the day, that's okay. Um, so I read over 100 books this year, but we're shooting for like a cool 50 is the goal. I think I'll end up reading more than that because, again, I do audiobook it and I am allowed to listen to audiobooks at work. But we're trying to slow down a little bit. We're slowing down. My current reads right now, as I said, I'm reading The Shining. I'm reading Welcome to Dorley Hall. That one is kind of, I don't even know how to explain that. A guy's friend disappears. Poof. And then like a year later, he meets this woman that looks exactly like his friend that like is gone. And so he's like, what's going on? And like starts investigating and like trying to get information about this sorority hall. I don't know if it's a sorority, but it's at least a living, like a dorm room, a college, and starts to like, try to like learn stuff about it, and basically like talks to this one girl that is in it, and then like some shit happens. I'm not far into it. Again, my brain's dying, but I will say trigger warning. Has its own trigger warning in the book. Say, read the trigger warnings, please, and make sure you know what you're getting into before you get into it. I haven't read a lot. I haven't hit those parts yet that could potentially, trigger some people, but just throwing it out there so that you know. I don't want to throw you into anything that you're not prepared for. You already know The Shining's about. And then I am currently reading The Swarm by Andy Marino with my girlfriend. It's a horror, an insect horror. We're like maybe 12 chapters in. It's so great. Because guess what? I am physically reading it. We take turns usually reading it, but she's been reading to me a lot lately, and it's the best thing ever. Like, it's great. I'm just like, there chilling. Sometimes I follow along on like my Kindle or whatever because the book is huge. First of all, the book is humongous. I hate holding it. I hate big books. That's another reason why I have a Kindle. I'm a tiny book girl. Like, it needs to, if it doesn't feel right, audiobook or Kindle, easy. Easy. But it's really good. And then I'm reading Night Circus. I think it's something Morgenstern, I'm not sure. I think it's an older book, but I'm reading that with one of my friends. I'm not in love with it yet. Like The Swarm, I'm like very excited to see where this is going. With this one, it's like I was reading it in paperback, and then I was like, I hate this. This is not the book that I want to be reading in paperback. And so I switched to audiobook and I started liking it more. But we'll see. We don't really know a lot yet. But don't worry. I will say when I love a book, I will read it in paperback. Or at least on my Kindle. But like if it's like there's this cozy mystery, which I found out this year I do not like cozy mysteries. And it took me like 2 years to finish it. I think longer than 2 years because like, oh my god, it was so slow. Oh. And so I like, but I was like, I can't DNF it. Like, no. And so I audio. No, I didn't actually. I didn't audiobook that one. I pushed through it, but like there's like another like fantasy that was like I don't even know. Like it was a normal fantasy, but it was so slow until like the last 3 chapters. No. You know, some people like the build up. I need it to be intense from day one. And that one I switched over to audiobook. But I did recently finish Jar of Hearts. And I found I love reading in a mass market. But again, it has to be a good book for me to want to read it. It's Jar of Hearts by Jennifer Hill, I believe. Alright, y'all. This book kind of disappointed me at the end because it was really good, and then it got like bad. Like it's like split into 5 parts, and the whole time was like on the edge of my seat, and then like last like part like had like maybe like 4 chapters, and like the ending was just so abrupt, and I was like, wait, what? Like what just happened? And it just kind of made me just be like, no way, like this book was like so good until like the very end. Like she's like, I want to be done. um but I ate that up reading it like in a mass market size. It was so satisfying. But I think that's all that I have for you. Again, please check out my socials. Everything is under the Diaries. I've been posting a lot on TikTok. Um, I hope it doesn't actually go, but I think it's gonna this time. And then I started posting on Instagram. Bear with me. I haven't used Instagram in like 4 years. It has changed a lot since then. So we're trying to, get our footing again. But yes, please follow my TikTok while I still have it. That's where I usually put all of my weekly spreads, and that's where I'm constantly doing hauls. When I'm getting it in, like it's immediately like posted within the next week. Hopefully I'll be doing a bigger haul, like a sticker video of all my sticker sheets, and like maybe a walkthrough of my sticker book and the types of stickers that I do have. But I am posting a lot more content on my TikTok more frequently. So thank you for coming to my little book review, book recommendation video. I hope you check some of these books out. I highly recommend them all. They all were so good, so amazing. And yeah, I hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you again soon.